Hi, I'm Amanda Jane Woodall and welcome to my fashion school. Considered the last true pop star, this lady's outfits are so well known that they have their own identity, an unforgettable performer who made it her mission to make sure that pop music will never be lowbrow. It's Lady Gaga. Stefani Angelina Germanotta was born on the 28th of March 1986 in New York City, and she was an odd and extraordinarily talented young girl who composed her first song Dollar Bills at just 4 years old. And she received a lot of problems with her teenage peers who bullied her for her musical ability, even making a cruel Facebook page called Stefani Germanotta, You Will Never Be Famous. Stefani made a name for herself performing in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and she identified as a mixture between Grace Jones and David Bowie. And she was signed in 2007 by Interscope and Cherry Tree Records and worked with music producer Rob Fusari, who credits himself with her Queen-inspired nickname Gaga, and this later evolved into Lady Gaga. She wrote her breakthrough hit Just Dance in 10 minutes and performed relentlessly around the American club and pageant scene until it rose to the top of the Billboard charts in January 2009. Lady Gaga's debut album, The Fame, brought dance and disco music back into the mainstream. It featured over-the-top humour and pop iconography, and Lady Gaga was inspired by the lives and the deaths of celebrities to write this album about the monster of fame. Her disco stick lyrics may have raised eyebrows in the industry, but people were equally captivated by her personality and her avant garde aesthetic. And this is the focus of today's video as we look at how Lady Gaga turned fashion into performance art. In 2008, Lady Gaga made her first noticeable appearance backstage at MTV, and she knew the power of being recognisable even at this stage in her career, although she couldn't really afford very many designer clothes, so she just paired her normal clothes with designer things and she would just restyle and rewear them for every single event. This look started many of the Lady Gaga signatures, with platinum blonde wig and sharp bangs and huge statement sunglasses, and these ones were styled to be like the Notorious B.I.G. And here we start to see Lady Gaga referencing her idols. In this hooded leotard made by Muto Little, she references Grace Jones, and there are further references in this outfit to Kylie Minogue and Michael Jackson, with fishnets and peep-toe heels, fingerless gloves and chains and belts. And this outfit revealed Gaga as a pop star before she even was one. A year later, in 2009, at the Muchmusic Awards, we start to see Lady Gaga combining fashion with performance art. And here she wears a Tom Talman Studios pyro bra, shooting sparks out of the chest as she reaches those final notes of her Love Game Poker Face medley. Haus of Gaga paired a studded corset, hood and embellished collar with customised stripper boots from Pink Cobra. She had originally wanted to shoot fire out of her outfit, but her creative team actually thought that sparks would be safer and the bra worked like a lighter. It had a very fast steel ring that ignited on a flint to create the crowd-pleasing stunt. Inspired by the history of the British monarchy, Lady Gaga met the Queen of England and Prince Philip wearing a latex version of an Elizabethan gown. The 2009 Royal Variety performance saw Gaga in a surrealist performance where she was suspended 30 feet in the air, and she sang a rendition of Speechless, which was dedicated to her father, who sat in the audience watching her. The red gown was tailored by Atsuko Kudo and featured petticoats and ruffles and a very long train that draped down from Lady Gaga playing a Salvador Dali inspired floating piano, and to complement the look she wore ringlets and Queen of Hearts inspired jewelled eye makeup. In 2010, Lady Gaga won her first 2 Grammy Awards, and for the event she was dressed by Armani Privé, who created 3 separate celestial looks. And for the red carpet, she debuted in a dress with sparkling strips of fabric which weaved around the body like the solar system. She completed the look with sparkling tights which morphed seamlessly into her very unusual shaped shoes, and these were inspired by the Chopins of the Italian Renaissance. Her striking yellow pop art hair is a reference to Lichtenstein's cartoonish portrayal of women, and this appearance is noted as Lady Gaga's debut in haute couture. And Armani described her music as the soundtrack of a generation, and Lady Gaga said that Armani had just captured the spirit of her as a performer. But wearing the solar system would not be Lady Gaga's most avant-garde outfit of that year, when she became enamoured with a story told by Val Garland, her makeup artist, about wearing a string of sausages to a party. Gaga had been in conversation with her artistic team about whether they wanted to make any statements at the upcoming MTV Video Music Awards. Don't Ask, Don't Tell is a US military policy, and Lady Gaga wanted to represent the LGBT soldiers who wanted to openly identify as who they were, and Lady Gaga felt that if they were willing to serve their country, then they should be able to do exactly that. She said, "If we don't start standing up for what we believe in, then soon we will have as much rights as the meat on our bones." And so the concept was born, and the Haus of Gaga created an outfit made from meat. It was designed by Frank Fernandez and constructed with the help of Brandon Maxwell, who sewed strips of Argentinian beef onto the corset despite him being a vegan. To complete the look, they also constructed a meat purse and a meat headdress, and Lady Gaga said it smelt like sweet meat and was very thrilling to wear. And following this very famous appearance, it was bought by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, who paid a taxidermist £5,000 to preserve it so that they could have it on display. In 2011, Lady Gaga went from performance to fine art, encasing herself in a marbled egg for 72 hours prior to her performance at that year's Grammys. This novel red carpet entrance proved that you didn't even need to see the star for her to get the most attention. The plexiglass vessel was designed by British designer Hussein Chalayan and took a month to construct this very one-of-a-kind piece. And Lady Gaga was carried into the venue by her models and dancers, who wore synchronized outfits made from flesh-coloured latex. The concept of the piece was rebirth, and she was hatched onto the stage for her performance. And this meant that she didn't have to interact with the press, and so she could dedicate her full attention to performing Born This Way. A day when Lady Gaga was sure to shine was the 2019 Met Gala, and we saw Lady Gaga go from costume to Hollywood glamour. The theme of the Met Gala was camp, and Lady Gaga chose to focus on the fashion definition by Susan Sontag, which showed camp as innocence and serious extravagance and bemusement. And Lady Gaga sought permission from Anna Wintour to perform a 15-minute theatrical striptease on the red carpet, which saw her unveil 4 looks which were inspired by the watercolour designs of Brandon Maxwell. The first look took Gaga to a childlike place in a huge balloon-shaped fuchsia tunic. She wore doll-like makeup with gold eyelashes, a head bow and waist bow, and a inflated parachute train. Gaga was accompanied by her entourage of dancers wearing tuxedos, and they were there to meet her every whim, whether it be passing her parasol, spritzing her with perfume, or passing her comically large brick phone. Her outfit is then zipped off to reveal her second look, which is a black ball gown with an asymmetric tulip ruffle hip, and it has a pointed neckline, and she wears a diamond choker, very reminiscent of old Hollywood. She walks downstairs for a second time and reveals outfit number 3, a shocking pink fitted silk cocktail dress. And so she acts out a scene from an 80s yuppie movie, speaking on her bejeweled mobile phone and being followed by a spoof photographer who catches her every moment. Her final reveal strips Lady Gaga back to her cabaret roots in a secret bralette and knickers, fishnets and pleaser boots. And in a pop burlesque moment, she reveals that she herself is the embodiment of camp. So, Lady Gaga has used fashion to make political commentary, talk about American culture, and to kind of push the limits on what is considered an outfit. Her art is a mashup of pop culture, and she references her celebrity idols in her own form of visual art. So, if you want to dress like Gaga, then go and get out your art history books, and then you can make something really impractical and extravagant. Or if you're looking for more inspiration from the best style icons, then you could just cheat and watch my videos. Bringing it back to the mainstream. It featured over-the-top humour,